Thank you, Sam. Hey, this thing can get kind of long, so you're not going to be a problem. If you need to get up, stand back to the room, stretch your legs a little bit while this goes on. You can still listen and stand up at the same time. So please don't feel like you have to sit. I know how that can be. So no, we can't thank the Baker Clan enough. That's just a fantastic job, and we especially can't thank you guys enough. So everybody that was part of that auction, give yourself a hand. So this is kind of where it gets serious. We got to say nice things about people. We try not to make fun of them, but we shall see. So each year, when I've had the opportunity to do this, a theme always develops. We could say it's about raising money, or we could say it's about biking history, or we could say it's about honoring some recipients for the Hall of Fame. But what it came down to, because those didn't really fit, what it came down to is family. We have the McLaughlin and Mendiola families. We have the Mogg family. And we have the Viking family. That's what came into my mind, and that's where I'm going with this thing. So, since it's ladies first, let's get right to it. Dottie Mendiola. When I moved back to Vail in 7th grade, I had my very first lunch, and Dottie was there. I don't remember anything about the main dish. I don't remember anything about the side dish, but I do remember that the cooks tried to get us to eat a canned tomato. I came from Portland and Salem, and I looked at my cousin and I go, dude, I can't eat that, I'll throw up. He's like, don't worry about it, drink your milk, open the milk carton up and put your tomato in there. So of course I did. It was, I've been in Vail for 3 days. It was, I'm already a criminal, and I'm feeling kind of guilty about it. But Dottie was washing dishes at the time, and I had to take a tray up there of silverware, and I was scared. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get caught with this tomato in the milk carton. So I walk up there, and I kind of see where I'm supposed to take my tray, and kind of walk around the corner to the opening, and there stood Dottie. I froze. She looks at me like, what the hell are you doing? Give me your tray. Dottie, I gotta be real honest. And I'm sorry, Mogg grandkids. You scared the shit out of me. I think I was scared of you in middle school, high school, even in college. It wasn't until I came back in the early 90s and we became co-workers that I found out that she was a sweetheart. I'm still a little scared of you though. Frank Rothman did the write-ups for tonight's program. I don't want to reiterate everything that Frank had written, and I don't want to read it word for word, but I'm going to go ahead and give the list of what she's done in her life as a Vail Viking, as a member of the community. It's going to take me a while. Hang on. So for 50 years, she was a pioneer picnic organizer. She was a lifetime member of the St. Patrick's Catholic Church, and I don't ever remember going to a funeral or a wedding reception when she wasn't in the kitchen running around cleaning up. She was a member of the Vail Basque Club. She helped at the Basque dances. Back in the day, she also helped out at the Hope Dance Hall. She's a member of the Legion Auxiliary for over 60 years. She assisted and sponsored the Girls State Candidates. She was a member of the Lioness for 23 years. She volunteered countless hours in multiple Viking sporting events and clubs. She was the driving force behind the Cook Shack, and every night for 21 years, she was at the Vail 4th of July Rodeo. Finally, when she got into the new cook shack at the high school. She got to boss around all the men in there and tell them what to do. Then there was her work in the food pantry. Let's not forget her countless hours at Pioneer Nursing Home. Dottie received 2 prestigious awards. The first one was in 2016, where she was the Grand Marshal of the 4th of July. 4th of July parade. That's impressive, Dottie. It usually goes to men. The next one was even bigger. I mean, this is, I don't want to say it's way bigger than the Vail 4th of July Rodeo Grand Marshal, but this is pretty big. Dottie was nominated and received the Melvin Jones Fellowship Award in 2001. This is a very prestigious award and is given internationally for her humanitarianism. I'm going to tell you one more thing now. This is where it really gets good. The award has only been given to a handful of women for their work in the Lions Club. I am told that there are likely only 10 to 12 recipients in its history in the world. Now that's something. Dottie, I understand they need a little help in the kitchen right now, but you can't go. You stay here, okay? We're not quite done with you. She raised 3 boys, and likely her husband Larry too. Then it dawned on me, she volunteered so much so she could get away from those 4 guys. I mean, come on. Have you met those guys? I kid. If you want a real belly laugh, go hang out with the Mendiola. Those guys know humor. I was able to talk on the phone with Joe, Jim, and Jeff. And I asked about their mom, and I asked every one of them, I said, was your mom scared? And they said, no, she was loving. I'm like, man, are you kidding? They must have forgotten all those butt whippings. Because they all said she was the best mom anyone could ever have. Dottie's oldest son, Joe, tells this story. This says all about her selflessness, and apparently the Mendiolas had a scanner a few years ago. She liked to listen to it. She hears that Ray Belknap's house is on fire. So she looks out the window, yep, there's the smoke, jumps in the car, heads down there. Now I'm thinking, most 70-some-year-old women that I know run away from a fire. Dottie goes to it. Well, Ray's over there at the house. He gets there, it's like, oh, roof's on fire. Ray's going in the house, grabbing stuff, mementos, paperwork, guns. She basically walks up there and says, what else you need? And so she just starts going in the house on fire. She's pulling stuff out with Ray, and I can just hear she's probably humming. Anyway, the firefighters finally showed up. They said, hey, Dottie, you probably better get out of there. And she's like, okay. No big deal. Joe also mentioned this very poignant statement. He said, you know, nothing was ever given to my mom, and all she does is give, give, give. Jim, middle child. Sorry, Jim, you were left out of everything. He responded this way when I asked about butt whippings. He said she didn't have to whoop us. One very cold morning, it was a very cold winter morning, the 2 oldest boys were sitting around in their underwear sitting next to the heat vent. Dottie told the boys, go get your clothes on. Well, little boys don't always listen well. She came back in the room, she noticed they had to put the clothes on or got away from the heat vent. Now remember, these boys were pretty little. Jeff wasn't even born yet. Well, they didn't mind their mama. So she proceeded to grab them by the hand, still in their underwear, and lock them outside, and Jim said it was cold. Moms are rarely subtle with their reminders. As Jim's telling me the story, I'm thinking, you know, likely she left them out there for a minute or 2, you know. And I said, well, Jim, how long should you got there? He goes, oh, about 15 minutes. I told you guys she was scary. The baby of the boys, her favorite according to the 2 olders, his name is Jeff. Jeff sure admires his mama. He used these words to describe her. Hardworking, caring, gave good advice. Strict. He mentioned something about a metal-handled fly swatter and said she was quick with it too. A sense of humor. She taught us how to laugh and smile. Kind, loving. From 2 of her 5 grandchildren, her grandson Raleigh says this: Grandma's been there for us always, from lunches while working cows to a thermos of hot chocolate for opening morning of elk season. She is truly a special lady, and we love her. Her granddaughter Lily uses a quote from R.S. Gray to best describe her grandmother. The quote is this: she believed she could, so she did. So Dottie, if you don't mind, and Brian, if you could help assist here, I think that your grandson, all the way from Okinawa, Japan, all the way from Japan, would like to escort you up here to receive your award, and we'd like to hear from you. Dottie Mendiola. Brian is not here, so Luke, or one of you members of the board, can you honor us, please? Oh, here's Brian. Sorry, Luke, maybe next year.
Thank you. Thank you. To be honored like this when all it was volunteering. You get the idea when Sola and Merch say, come on up, we need a little help. You can do dishes. That's what I did. And you look at it, 50 years here and 60 years there, 28 years here. Actually, either she can't keep a job, or she's actually 180 years old.
See, Dottie snuck a little kiss there.